Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Fort Smith Police and Fort Smith School District Police say they want students to stay aware of their surroundings. This after a report of a man who apparently offered rides to some students at Kimmons Middle School Thursday morning. Police say it's an open investigation and it has not been confirmed what the man's intentions were. Nevertheless, a school resource officer there at the middle school, Daryl Spells, says it's important for students to remain vigilant.
We encourage the kids, if they see something out of the ordinary, something, just really suspicious, to come to a trusted adult or their school resource officer and to let them know what's going on, and the tiniest detail can make or break an investigation. So please come forward.
He says that they're using the situation as an opportunity to continue educating students on the dangers of strangers in person and online. He also encourages parents to have conversations with their children at home and develop an emergency safety plan. Well, the Arkansas State Board of Education has passed a major change when it comes to standardized tests in schools. The board officially approved new cut scores for the Atlas test, which became Arkansas' standardized test of choice last spring. Students will now be placed into one of 4 levels across English, math, and science. State education leaders say the goal is to simplify how students are evaluated. Deputy Commissioner Stacy Smith told the board what each score would mean for a potential student.
Levels 3 and 4 are students who are proficient. Students in level 2 may need some support. Okay? Students in level 1 will need some support.
The state education secretary says that he expects the new standards will be tough at first. Based on last year's results, over 65% of students would have been at levels 1 or 2 in math. Now that the new cut scores are improved, data on individual school and student performances will be rolled out to districts by the end of this month. Well, the Peacemaker Festival is returning to Fort Smith today. The music will start there at the Riverfront Amphitheater at 3 o'clock and will last through tomorrow night. 49 Winchester, Morgan Wade, and Reckless Kelly are just a few of who will perform. Tickets start at around $60 with the proceeds going back to local charities and the community. Well, if you're heading out to the festival, we could see some warmer weather this weekend. It's Friday after all. Let's check in with Zach for a look at the forecast.
That's right, Joe. A warming trend really kicked off for us after we had cooled down Monday, Tuesday behind last Sunday's front. Warming trend kicked off Wednesday, and that's going to continue all the way through this weekend before our next Sunday front shows up. The cooler air will be on the backside of that. All right, we're kicking off our Friday with a chance of a spotty shower, very isolated, mainly for northwestern Arkansas. We saw a few more scattered showers. Can't rule it out just for the AM hours. The afternoon should see plenty of sunshine. We'll get a southerly wind today, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, mixing the air up, making it comfortable outside, as comfortable as it can be. 80s out there, upper 80s to mid 80s overall across the entire region, up to 87 northwest Arkansas, up to 89. Humidity is still low, so again, at least we're not throwing in some mugginess as well. But we do continue to get hotter. Saturday should overall be the hottest area wide. We'll still see some 80s and some 90s on Sunday, but Saturday should be the hottest. If we get up to 91, that'll break the record. 89 Fayetteville. If we get to 93 in Fort Smith, that'll break the record of 92 in Fort Smith. We're looking for, again, warmer weather overall to start shifting out towards the west. Here comes the cooler air. Again, the front will start to move in, especially our northern zones on Sunday. We'll start to get a north breeze, but the cooler air will be lagging behind. We'll get a stretch of 70s as we get into early next week.
All right, thanks for that, Zach. Well, the second of 2 former Crawford County deputies has been sentenced for their part in an arrest in 2022. This led to an excessive force charge. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer explains what happened in the courtroom.
August 21st, 2022, Crawford County deputies Levi White and Zachary King were involved in the arrest of Randall Worcester at a gas station in Mulberry. A video was widely circulated on social media showing the deputies hitting and kicking Worcester while he was on the ground. The pair pled guilty in April 2024.
The family appreciate that both defendants have accepted responsibility to avoid having to go through a trial.
On Wednesday, White was sentenced to more than 5 years in federal prison with credit for time served in federal custody. The court also recommended that White undergo mental health counseling while in jail. And just a day later, on Thursday, a similar deal for King. He will now spend 12 months in federal prison and also get mental health counseling. An attorney who represents Worcester says she was happy with the outcome.
The police are often the first and primary individuals who encounter those who are in a mental health crisis. They can approach them with kindness and understanding as they try to resolve what's going on, or they can approach with fear and intimidation.
The judge said King was a police officer and he had a duty to protect and serve, adding both deputies continued to fight when Worcester was no longer a threat. She said that no one is above the law, even officers. King's lawyer Chris Baker said from day one, King knew he made a mistake.
We're disappointed the judge didn't see sentencing our way. If you look at what the Civil Rights Division has prosecuted nationwide, there's a very large disparity between the actual conduct of Mr. King and the same sentences for other offenses that officers in very similar circumstances have been charged and convicted of. Day-to-day officers do not go out thinking, hey, I'm about to hurt somebody. You know, this incident was provoked by Mr. Worcester.
In Crawford County, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Randall Worcester himself is facing 6 charges, including terroristic threatening. His next court date is in December, and his jury trial in Crawford County is set for February. Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather on this Friday. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week.